community. Make sure y'all go check out Meat Cat Body by Jeremy Campbell.
All right, that's right. It is me, Cap Fighting with the Motor City Lions. I am smoking Jeremy D. I'm your host. I have Will Bogle, Cap Vegan, and of course, just because I'm fat doesn't mean call me Santa, Mr. Leonard. So how's everybody doing tonight?
Ready
Doing
for the
great.
games. Ready for the games.
Doing good. Doing good.
Comes in, says good evening, Jay. Good to see you, Chad. Patty Grimes, what's up? That's good to see you guys. You know, I want to get into a little bit more about what's going to happen this weekend because we are facing off with a chance to clinch the division. Which, if we clinch the division, we don't have to worry about what any other fucking team does.
Nice.
That is not entirely true. You need to worry about what the Rams do.
Not if we win.
Yeah, you do.
Why?
Because then you guys would be 3, they'd be 6. You guys would play the Rams.
I want to play the Rams in our house.
Mm-hmm.
In our house. In our house. How loud will this crowd make it for Stafford?
They'd go crazy.
Is Undone notices no hat tonight. Yeah, I went for the I'm bald and don't give a shit look. Dad comes in and says, good evening, guys.
So crazy, Ken.
We get the division this weekend. I'll wear a hat and go shirtless. Nah.
Oh, God.
Just
Oh, by the way,
oh, there's a little teapot.
That was hilarious.
All right. I'm doing some photoshopping.
Okay. Did you freeze that so you can Photoshop a little teapot for us? Will you start? Yep. Okay. Didn't get a new comment. That being said, yeah, can't. Your camera went way blurry, Keegan.
did
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you turn on the blurry setting or something? Or
no, I didn't even touch. I didn't even touch anything.
weird.
It is really blurry.
It's almost like you spit on your camera and it's trying to see through it. Wow, his whole connection's blurry. You see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird. Keegan, you don't have to freaking lube up the camera like that, buddy.
Right. Yeah, but that's a logo. It shouldn't be blurry. He's got a good signal. At least
Yeah,
he's
I
not
do.
Walmart internet tonight.
Maybe leave and come back.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Yep, just pop out and come back, see if that's some type of connection issue, sir. That being said, I'm more worried about this offensive line, whether healthy or not, facing against a Brian Flores blitzing defense. They blitz almost more than any other team in the league. Shooting a little high while boarding.
Oh, my God.
Hey, look at that. You're clear now.
Good.
Good thing I didn't say that with a lisp or something. It might have came out wrong. Dad said you were shooting a little high while porning.
Yeah, I agree with the statement you just said, Jeremy, about the Flores defense.
That's the only thing that scares me because they get pressure against some decent O-lines. I mean, you can't count the 49ers O-line as decent because they got all their pressure on Danielle Hunter's side where the backup left tackle was in while Trent Williams was injured. So that was during that 3-game stretch when Brock Purdy looked human. Big Dan Davis coming in says, "What's up, everyone? I hope Dan Campbell continues to call the defense this Sunday. When he took the play calling duties from AG versus the Broncos, we saw our first complete game from the D of the year. Second, I'm going to say the second because the other one was versus the Raiders.
Yeah.
And that was 100% AG at the time. As far as we know, we didn't hear anything about Dan Campbell putting his hands on the defense yet. But at the same time, that was AG calling a defense against a bad QB.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
We all see that Aiden O'Connell looks like a better QB than Jimmy G. 100%.
Yes.
Yes.
But yeah, that's one of the things I wanted to point out. Everybody's given AG a lot of credit for last week. But Dan Campbell specifically said after that Bears loss, he was going to put his hands on the defense. And for anybody that says that he doesn't know what it takes to stop an offense, remember he was an assistant head coach that did the offensive game planning, which means the Saints defense, when they were practicing, had to game plan against him, and he would see what type of defense works. And AG's defense is very similar to what the Saints defense wants to do. But I noticed he used more of that 3-4 under look and the 4-3 looks than the 4-2-5. We also used a lot of dime looks and had safety blitzes we haven't seen all season out of AG. I mean, it was beautiful. What impact does John Fatts have on the defense, do you think? I think he might have been one of the ones that helped Dan Campbell decide on the personnel we used last week.
Yep.
Because we hardly saw Burrito Jones. We saw Roderick Martin quite a bit more. We saw a lot more of Isaiah Buggs. And
Mm-hmm.
I thought people said Dan Campbell doesn't know X's and O's. That is what they say, but they don't know Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell acts like a meathead in front of the camera because but behind, you seen him last year on Hard Knocks when he was talking and going over the personnel. He actually knows more than everybody thinks. And he also knows what's the heart and soul of the defense.
Yep.
I think he's got a very good pulse on the chemistry of the team.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Keegan, the little teapot.
Oh no!
Look at that old picture of Keegan. Wow.
I like it, Leonard. I like it.
Okay, now we change that back. It actually looks better if you see the whole thing, though.
Jerry Jacobs is in the doghouse. He was actually a healthy scratch last week. I think he might have got injured this week, so it kind of takes the pressure off of whether or not to play him because he didn't practice for 2 days and did limited practice. I think the first day of the week, if I remember right, and then was a no practice 2 days in a row. So I think he's out.
He is out.
As far as I'm concerned,
Actually, he hasn't participated all week.
oh, he hasn't. Good. And here's the other one. If Will Harris takes the field, we might as well just hear this the rest of the game. Because that guy's a joke.
Exactly.
So, actually, big news, beginning of the week, Wednesday, we release Riley Patterson and activate Hendon Hooker.
They're saying Jerry Jacobs has a hamstring injury and is out for Sunday. Good. I don't think because Jerry Jacobs has been very streaky. He's been very up and down. When he's good, he's been very good. But when he's been bad, Oh, absolutely. If I see Will Harris take the field, we're going to hear every woman in the stadium go,
And you're going to hear every man go.
nope. Might even hear him cry. Jeez. I know I want to cry.
I'll be cursing up a storm.
So,
Exactly.
so three big news revolving injury. Derek Barnes is
Okay.
out.
Oh, good. So more Jack Campbell at middle linebacker next to Angelo.
And also we might see more of Nowaski too.
Good. Is Pittman out?
And then Brock Wright is out.
Oh, Malcolm Rodriguez too, right?
No, Rodrigo was not on the.
Okay. Because I know last week he was out, but we didn't get to see him. I every time I hear that Nowaski's not playing, I kind of do.
But guess who's playing at fullback this week?
Why did AD put Campbell at Ed again last week? It's because Barnes had been the steady starter most of the season, and they want him on the field to grow, but he's out of position. He played much better that week when Anzalone was hurt at middle linebacker, which is his natural position. He was one of the best players that game, and I hope with Derek Barnes being out, we get to see more of that, and maybe Nowaski plays in that edge role until Houston's back healthy. Was he activated to start practicing yet, Houston?
Houston, I
I
haven't
don't.
seen anything. I
Yeah.
looked up transactions not even 15 minutes ago, and he wasn't on there.
And what about the job Iffy Melifonwu did with Tracy Walker
Oh,
in the doghouse?
Love Diffie.
And by the way, who was the offensive rookie of the week?
Laporta.
What you got going on, Leonard? You got something on your mind?
I don't know. Just investigating stuff.
Oh, you're making more stuff up for the backdrops, aren't you?
Shut up.
Oh God, we're screwed.
And then, guess who we're going to see more of this week?
We're gonna see a remix.
We're gonna see the cast. We're gonna see James Mitchell finally.
Well, he's been in and out of the lineup. If he had a sack, a forced fumble, 9 tackles, 2 QB hits, and 2 pass breakups,
He was awesome.
he was my defensive player of the game.
Yep.
Yeah.
But Isaiah Buggs, I don't know if he was running for an oxygen tank or for his life. I couldn't tell, but he ran that ball pretty quick. He ran it better than Benito Jones did the week before on the blocked field goal attempt. How about Josh Pascal with his first sack of the year? Yes, it was. He was the other one that had a sack. And where did he get it from? Playing the defensive interior, collapsing the pocket, which is something I said I hope they would do ever since we drafted him. But he hasn't been healthy enough to do it. Thank God they've used him sparingly since he came back, and I think that's helped with his development and his rehab because he's been practicing with the team. Let's see. Can Laporta break the NFL tight end record? 11 more catches, 320 yards, and 4 touchdowns to break. Actually, he has 9 touchdowns. Dicka's record is 10.
So he could easily break the touchdown record this week.
I think he'll get the touchdown record if I remember right. I think it's 10. If not, it's 11. So that means he needs 3 at the most. But I thought it was 2, I heard. And then the 11 more catches, I think he'll get that. The 320 yards, that breaks down to approximately 82 yards a game, if I'm doing my math right. And he'll have it. So, can he? Yes. I thought it was 12. If it's 12, then he needs 3 to tie, right?
Yep.
Okay. I swore it was
I think he could do all the receiving yards is going to be tough.
Yeah, the Bugs recovery reminded me of the big baby touchdown 20 years ago. You know what Benito Jones reminded me of? But he just couldn't carry 5 guys to the goal line.
Hmm.
It is 12. Okay, thank you, as I'm done. Appreciate it. Um, so when Benito Jones had his, it reminded me of Jerry Ball when he kind of just fell with all those guys on his back into the end zone that back in the 90s when he had that fumble recovery versus Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Okay.
about the same thing, but he came up 20 yards short. Okay, I hear you saying okay. You got something to show us, don't you?
No.
Oh,
Yes, you do.
Not yet, man.
not yet. Okay, but that sack happened so fast. Russell Wilson had no time on that play action. Yeah, I thought we were going to have that big baby Sean Rogers moment too. It would have been nice. I would have loved to have seen Bugs get the touchdown because, to quote John Madden from The Replacements, you know what I love about when you get a fat guy touchdown? You get a fat guy dance.
Yep.
Yep.
With him laying on the ground calling for oxygen.
As soon as they finish. Yeah, absolutely. If he'd have been able to go that next 37 yards, he might have died. But yeah, I that's what I'm hoping I see.
Yes, Chad, for sure.
Absolutely, Chad. Because everybody says they want us to wear the blueberries while we're away because Minnesota's doing the whiteout. I want us to wear the all white so Nick Mullins throws 6 to 8 interceptions instead of his average of 3.
That'd be nice.
Have they
That's kind of funny.
said anything about changing the quarterback at all?
No, Mullins is their starter.
Mullins
Yep,
is the
Mullins
starter?
has started.
All right.
Mullins is their starter. Jefferson's back in the lineup with Addison. Could have he lateraled it? Absolutely, he could have because I can't remember who it was to the back and to the left of him. But the guy was right there and had no one on him. He could have just tossed it over, and that guy's faster. Nick Mullins, he's a guy that has an arm. He will sling it, but he doesn't have any positional awareness in his decision making lacks. Good. I can't wait to be at the Dallas game. I'm going to try and not get beat up. Chad, I would take a Cowboys sweatshirt with you because if
Just
the
in case.
Lions win, you'll need to wear that to get out.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. And I'm not saying the Lions will win. I'm saying any given Sunday, and the way Dallas has played, they played some teams great and they played other teams shitty lately. You don't know what Dallas team you're going to get, but at home, they're undefeated. And it'd be
No,
nice to smack them in their mouth at home.
did Dallas lose to Arizona at home?
No, that was in Arizona.
That was in Arizona.
Yep, it's a Ben
Dallas is very good at home.
Yeah, they are. They are. I said that. They're undefeated at home. They just can't seem to win against mediocre or good teams on the road, no matter who they face.
Ooh.
The Bills were not a great team. But yeah, here's your interesting bit of info from Dan Davis. The Lions OC Ben Johnson worked on Brian Flores' staff when he was the head coach of Miami. Flores fired him, and now they face each other as coordinators
That's going to be really interesting.
because he was just a tight ends coach. He wasn't even an assistant OC or game planner for Miami at the time. That was the rookie year for Mark Gesicki.
Mike Kosecki, look.
Yeah, Mike Gesicki. If I remember right, uh, Ben Johnson came over here in 2019, so that would have been the 2018 season when he was fired, correct? Because he came over in 2019.
That was Kosecki's rookie year, 2018.
That was a good guess, wasn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was.
I just know what year we got Ben Johnson because he became our tight ends coach in 2019, and everybody says it might have been coaching that was the problem. If you look at Laporta, Brock Wright, Shane Zylstra, James Mitchell, and everybody we've had who produced better than T.J. Hawkinson after we traded him last season.
Hmm.
Jeremy, you said his name wrong, by the way.
I said his real name, but
Oh,
T.J. Dropinson is the usual. What his agent already refuted the fact that Ben Johnson's asking for 15 million a year, but at that same time, that's what he'll probably garner as a head coach
yep.
because the head coaching staffs nowadays are ridiculous on what they're paying.
With
Yep.
with that in mind, Will, do you think your Panthers are going to still try to hire Johnson?
I would love to get him. I think he'll definitely be a
I think
finalist for
Pepper is
sure.
going to try, but Pepper Spray Pepper does not get Ben Johnson.
I don't think he goes to us, honestly. I think he goes somewhere better.
Chad, you might be okay in Dallas. If that was in Philly, I'd say, man, just rethink your plans.
Right. If it was Philly or even Las Vegas, because of the way Raiders fans are,
Mm-hmm.
those are the two I'd be more worried about. Hell, I'd even be more worried about going to the Bears game in Chicago than going to Cowboys fans.
Yeah, I would too.
Who did was that home where someone poured a beer on Raw?
That was a Packers fan.
Imagine a game between going to that pack game and getting.
As much as we've seen that AG is not good with X's and O's, his players love him, and I think that's one of the reasons why we haven't got rid of him. I actually think he'll make a better head coach than he does make a DC.
Patty, do not put that evil on me. I do not want Aaron Glenn here.
If he's a head coach, I think you might be all right.
True.
That's what I'm saying. Because there's some guys that are better coordinators than coaches, and there's some guys that are better coaches than coordinators. And
Very
it
true.
looks like Aaron Glenn, he does get the most out of his guys, but he just doesn't know where to put them.
True.
But would you rather have a defensive minded coach coaching Bryce Young?
It all
No.
depends on when it comes to that, it all depends on who they get for assistant.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it really depends on who his quarterback coach is, who the offensive coordinator, what type of style of offense are they going to run, how good is their O-line coach.
Yeah.
Braylon Dennis comes in and says, "What's up, guys?"
Really.
Yeah, I'd love Tepper to take Aaron Glenn off our hands. And then with the strife that has happened off and on throughout the season in New York, Coach Wink Martindale as the DC of the Detroit Lions. Hey, at least it goes for a team you semi-support.
Okay. Leave Wink the
Double.
fuck alone. That's my dude.
I want Wink.
Yeah, I bet you do.
I didn't say Dink. I said Wink.
Maybe Hutch wouldn't look like such a bust if you had a real defensive coordinator.
Exactly. I mean, you can't really blame
Too
it on
fucking bad. Kayvon needs to look like not a bust, so he needs to stay with us.
Ooh.
Jesse Minter. That wouldn't be bad either. But you want to know who else we should probably get? Bill Parker, defensive coordinator for the Iowa Hawkeyes, because they have an excellent defense every year in one of the stronger Power 5 conferences. That's the only reason why they win games is that defense. It damn sure isn't Kurt Ferentz in their offense. Austin Hacker comes in and says, "Good evening, fellas. Haven't seen you for a minute, Austin." I think there are two other Iowa rookies making an impact this year. Also, just don't remember their names or their teams. Imagine that. Lucas Van Ness,
Yep.
the defensive end for the Packers. He's having a decent, not great season, but a decent.
Luke Shoemaker?
He's Michigan.
Yeah, Luke Schoonemaker's Michigan. He's having a good year for Dallas.
So
It's a safety.
It's
It's
a
a safety
safety.
that's having a decent year. Okay, well, we'll see you in a minute. Wink wants to be on a winner. But my choice is for DC. I think AG would make a good head coach somewhere. And if there's a team looking for a defensive minded coach, I think he'll be good for them. That's just
Oh,
my personal opinion.
Geno Stone.
The safety, right? Geno Stone,
Yep.
go to. Keegan.
What?
What team is he on?
Ravens.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's the one that took over when the other guy got hurt next to Hamilton. He's been having a real good year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's your Iowa guys making a difference right now in the league. But that being said, for all you Packer fans, you can talk as much shit about the Lions being a basement team forever. Who's in first and who's in third?
What's in second?
What's in second? The Vikings. I don't know who's in third. That's the Packers. Yesterday's pitching, tomorrow's catching. That's the Bears. They should be catchers. Yeah, the Ravens DC is the old Michigan DC before Minter, right? Okay. Oh, yeah, the Ravens DC is the guy we had last year as DC, correct?
Wait, say that again?
The Ravens poached Michigan's DC last season. Right.
That's you said before Minter though.
Lions are number one, baby. Absolutely. When you talk about the Bears, Bears will be our
Oh, McDonald.
Yep, McDonald. Josh McDonald, is it?
Mike.
No, Mike. Old McDonald had a farm.
EIEIO.
I knew it was coming. That big stereo.
What happened to him?
Geno Smith is playing this weekend, okay? Tyreek and A-Chain looking to the playing, okay? Let's go.
You know, I wonder if Jared Goff is going to be good Jared Goff, or is he going to be the one that makes us want to?
I hope not that one.
Lions need to win the division because when I go to Mesa, Arizona, their Packers are there. I want to go with my Goff jersey on.
Pedigrams, I wish you luck.
You know, they could. Wasn't Flores the DC of the Pats when they shut down Goff and Gurley? Yes, that is true. Yeah, he was the defensive coordinator, and Matt Patricia was Matt Patricia was here. That's right. Ah. Hey, I just thought about something. It's kind of interesting. Week 5 in 2018. Who did we beat 31-10?
No idea.
2018 season. It was the team that won the Super Bowl. The Patriots.
Oh, that's right. Because then Fatty Matt ended up beating Patriots.
Yeah, for his first win of his career.
Yeah.
And now he's the Eagles defensive coordinator.
Yeah, we saw how good that looked versus the Seahawks.
Yeah.
That last drive though, man, Drew Lock. What the hell?
Since when has he ever looked money since he left Iowa?
You mean Missouri?
Was he Missouri?
He
Yep.
was in Mizzou.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just scored
Same
some.
thing.
Might as well be.
Same color scheme.
Dude, how about that catch that
And goal?
DK made though? Like, how the hell did he catch that shit?
I don't know. That was nuts. Where it looked like he did a Harlem Globetrotter thing on the ground to keep the ball from touching.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the Rams game last night?
No,
Mm-mm.
but I didn't need to.
No, you do. You have to watch the highlights of the catches that Puka Nacua made. Like the last one that he really had, you're like, how the hell does this ball even get to him, let alone this man be on his ass catching this thing?
The G Bar in Arizona. It's an NFC North bar. Okay. Must be owned by a Green Bay Packers fan. I'm having fun, guys. You know, every time I go over there to the huddle and the Packers start to make their little, the Packer fans start to make their little shots at the Lions, you know what I hear?
Chirps.
Cricket.
World's smallest violin.
Yep. Playing My Heart Bleeds Purple Passion Fruit Kool-Aid for You.
I know we haven't covered this, but keys to the game.
Run the ball. Their run defense is not as good as their passing up defense. My dad said he watched the game, and Nakua was unbelievable.
Yeah. Like, oh my God. I was like, thank God he was on my team.
I don't know. I was pretty happy last week with
I
Goff.
agree. I agree. We need to run the ball. Run.
How good is that Vikings secondary?
That Viking secondary, two of them are okay. One of them is a border. Lewisine. I don't know.
I feel like we could pass on them all day.
They actually do good against the pass because they blitz so much.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I feel
Yeah,
so
I
old.
mean that's the thing. If the Rams came to Detroit, would we see the Detroit Rams jerseys coming out again? That's something to think about
Looks like
because
he fucking burnt. Fucking jackass.
it was 60% of the fan base. It was the number one selling T-shirt at sports shows or sports stores in Detroit.
Because that's
Oh,
how
yeah,
much
Steve,
Super Bowl you guys got.
How about them Panthers, baby?
They suck.
They beat the Falcons.
Yeah,
They're
they-
still-
And I hope they beat the Packers.
Yeah, that's the thing. Packers are going down there. We should all be Panthers fans this weekend.
It should be, but the Packers are going to beat the Panthers.
I
I
would
watched
agree.
that game, and that was bad. Like,
But
keep bleeping me, motherfucker. JB, look at that picture I just sent you and tell me you don't feel even older than you are now.
oh God. Devin Hester Jr. And yeah, I know.
Cough is about to turn into.
Yeah, kids coming out in college right now. Is that what that was?
Yeah.
Who
They're
is?
in college right now? Chad Pennington's son, who's having an amazing year there in Kentucky in high school. Devin Hester Jr.
Yep.
is in college. And what was the other one? Owen what?
Luke McCown.
Yeah, Owen McCown, Luke McCown's son.
Chad
Shit.
Pennington will be accepted the offer from Marshall. UTSA got Owen McCown and Devin Hester Jr. wearing the number 19, but was committed to Athens, Georgia.
Yep.
He's going to UGA.
Not University of Georgia.
Oh,
He's going to, it shows an F in the background and it says Athens, Georgia. Doesn't that spell out fag?
yes.
Mhm.
Okay, just checking. Byron Murphy is out for the Vikings. He's the number one cornerback on the team. So Amon Ra could have a day. Great. That's good to hear, Comedy
That
God.
would be good.
Is that my bud Kevin that I went and saw here at the Timothy's Pub?
Kevin.
Did you see is Undun's comment? Really?
Oh,
I don't believe it.
What's that?
I laughed at it because he brought up Nathan Peterman. But
I thought you were
Not
talking about
true.
the one he brought up about the Rams in the playoffs. Dude, honestly, the Rams look scary right now.
They do, but I just think it would be just awesome to whoop the shit out of Stafford and the Rams at home in the playoffs.
it would be
Yeah,
bittersweet.
but at the same time, what happens by chance if they didn't?
Oops.
Then that's just embarrassing and insult to injury. I'd rather not play them at home in the playoffs, honestly.
I don't want to play the Seahawks.
I'd rather play the Seahawks.
I don't know.
Well-
Pete Carroll seems to have Dan Campbell's number.
Yeah, but in the past 4 games, 5 games now, Goff has passed for like 1,500 yards and I don't know, like 16 touchdowns to 1 interception. He's playing on a different world right now. And all those guys are healthy again finally.
Yeah, that is nice.
I worry about that, though, because I don't
wanna-
want the Rams to win. Fuck them.
I want to see Jamison Williams used more in the
Yeah,
offense.
I do too.
Mhm.
I think everybody agrees with that.
All hell would break loose amongst Lions. Yeah,
Yes,
go
it would.
know who to root for, Stafford or Goff. I love Stafford. He was our guy, but he threw back sixes.
Yeah, but man, could you imagine everybody like, we never should have got rid of him for Goff if they won?
There's a chance Harrison Jr. does not declare for the draft.
Yeah.
Yep.
When is the deadline?
It's just before the Super Bowl, if I remember right, isn't it? They have to declare by February 2nd, I think it is,
Some shit like
for the
that.
draft.
All right, so time's
Harrison,
ticking, Marvin. Time's ticking.
Harrison Jr. has already said he is seriously consider returning to Ohio State because he wants to beat Michigan.
Yeah, that's okay
And
because he won't
$20 million
have
helps.
he won't have a quarterback.
That's okay. Guess who makes $3 million a year to sit on the bench at Texas?
Arch Manning.
Yep.
And the moment he steps on the field, he's a $20 million a year guy.
Fucking ridiculous. The NIL ruined college football.
Patty Grimes agrees with me. What a way to kill the same old Lions by beating Stafford and the Rams. That would be it. That would put a stamp. But
Dude, I'll agree with you there. It would kill that same old Lions thing there. It's just, I fear the consequences if they didn't, though. Do you know what I mean?
the problem is, if we're the 3 seed, we're playing the 6.
Mm-hmm.
So that means we're automatically not playing whoever's second place in the NFC East, which is either Dallas or Philly, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So that takes them out of the picture. That means it's either going to be Rams, Seahawks, or Vikings. Harrison Jr. as a Bear going against Jerry Jacobs would make me go insane. Yeah, but you're talking about next season. I doubt Jerry Jacobs would be our starter too.
And on top of all that, I think the Bears draft Caleb Williams number 1 overall anyway.
I don't think Fields gets another year. I think they've been auditioning him.
And he hasn't performed.
They're trading him this year.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Steelers, Falcons, whoever needs a quarterback, they'll probably trade with.
Who knows? Maybe they'll trade even up for Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Kyler Murray's the same player as Fields.
To an extent, yes, but with a better record in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stand either of them.
If the Lions win out, they earn the 2 seed. There's a possibility. But there's also a possibility with this gauntlet over the next 3 weeks that the 49ers have. They may not stay the number 1 seed even. It could be Dallas, Philly, or Detroit.
I think Philly's gonna drop. They're gonna lose
But yeah,
one of these.
they got Matt Patricia running the defense with that bend don't break. It didn't work for Detroit. They basically have the same problem with that defense that we had with our defense with Fat Matt. They have talent at every level, but if you can't coach it good, it doesn't play good.
Exactly.
So in all actuality, I don't think we're going to rest players the rest of the year. And Dan
I
Campbell basically said that.
Yeah.
Resting players is stupid.
Well,
Because-
yeah, I mentioned it too because every time a team rests players in the last week when they have something sewed up, what have they done? They have never made it past the divisional round.
Correct.
Mhm.
Man, there's some bullshit. Randy Bullock went to the IR. Cade York injured his leg, so he's on the IR. So we freaking signed Mason Crosby. The Eagles are going to win Monday night. Motherfucker.
Is Matty P or AG a better DC? I'm going to say that's kind of like the comparison that was made the other night on Wednesday. That's like comparing warm, fresh dog shit to petrified dog shit.
Yes, Fields has Fields is through 24, not through 25. They didn't pick up his fifth-year option.
Yeah, they have to pick it up next season.
Yeah,
because he was drafted the same year as School. They have to pick it up before the draft.
You can't say nobody wants Fields. There's probably a place for him that he would be able to succeed.
The XFL.
There have been rumors that the Steelers wouldn't mind getting him.
Who?
Justin Fields.
No.
You know, that could be a good place for him, honestly, if they build an offensive line.
Yeah, no. You know what would be a good place for him? Because they're not afraid to make him a running back or wide receiver.
Terrell Pryor. Until
Cordell
CJ Stroud.
Stewart.
Before CJ Stroud, Terrell Pryor was the best player to come out of Ohio State.
Yep.
Not at the position he was drafted either.
Yeah, Chad Fatima says USFL. Yeah, because I don't even think he's good enough for the XFL.
The USFL and the XFL joined.
Arena football.
Arena football.
Canadian League. CFL.
The
You
non-existent.
could go be the new Doug Flutie.
The non-existent NFL Europe.
Yeah.
Okay, no, real shit though. Justin Fields could be a fine quarterback if he was in a West Coast scheme instead of a stretch vertical scheme.
I know he is not a stretch vertical. Oh, he'd be good in like the air raid offense, which requires a mobile quarterback. That is kind of like a spread modified West Coast scheme with a lot of slants, crossing routes, and stuff like that.
Exactly. Let him get the ball out faster instead of trying to chuck it deep. His deep accuracy sucks, but he can
No,
hit
Patty.
across the-
No, Patty.
Okay, the Lions have 1,657 yards through 14 games with 17 touchdowns. You know, that's the exact same number they had last year.
Yeah, but all those touchdowns last year were Jamal Williams.
Right. This year, it's 10 by Monty and 7 by Gibbs.
Mhm.
Last year, we got 5 total rushing touchdowns out of Swift
Mm-hmm.
and 17 out of Jamal Williams.
Yeah, but they were all like 1 2 yard rushing touchdowns.
Right. They were all, the longest touchdown was 9 yards.
Yes, sir.
How many touchdowns does Jamal Williams have this year?
Mm.
One. Turn Fields into a behind the line or 5-yard receiver. I bet he could lead the league in yet. Do the Lions have the best rushing attack in the NFL? I'd say it's up there.
They're 1 or
Actually-
2. It'd be like 1 and 1A, them and the Dolphins.
JB, I just looked it up. He has 0.
Is 0 still?
Yeah.
Oh, but David Montgomery's not any good. That was a joke. By the way, Montgomery has 4.8 yards per carry.
Neither one of them
It's
would
a
be rookie
career
of the year,
best.
Patty Grimes. Patty Grimes, neither one. It would be Puka Nacua.
It would. I think it's Laporta because Nakua disappeared for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but smashing all the rookie receiving records and is right up there on like rookie stats of like Randy Moss, Odell Beckham Jr. He's having a like historical year at receiver right now. And a receiver will always get the preference over a tight end.
Well, with Dan Davis, there might be some credence to that, but it also depends on what's happening with the front line. If the O line is giving Goff space, he's amazing. If it's as porous as it was during that 2-3 record, we're in trouble.
What's the injury list looking like right now for them on the cross offensive line?
Right now, there's nobody on the O line injured. Nobody.
Okay.
Jerry
Honestly, I
Jacobs is
probably
out.
agree. Pass the shit out of that ball because you don't want to run up the middle on Ivan Pace.
The full injury list is CD Deuce, Derek Barnes, Jared Jacobs, Brock
Yeah.
Wright, and Kabinda.
You know, honestly, Kabinda, what the fuck is the point of that guy even having a roster space?
Yeah, I've said it. For how many years have you heard me say this? And everybody we've talked to, other than us, has defended him.
They all get a hard on about the guy because, oh, he's a switch army knife. They fucking hope he doesn't do anything on the field. You don't need a fullback anymore. Get rid of that damn roster space when you want to use a fullback. Drop a tight end in there or Malcolm Rodriguez to play fullback.
No, my thing is if you want a fullback on the team, then sign a actual full-fledged fullback.
Yes.
There's one in free agency right now who's young and hasn't been utilized. Xander Horvath.
Yes.
Put him there and say, fuck Kabinda.
Matter of fact, you can put after seeing Panay catch a pass last year, you can probably put Panay.
Xander has played 2 games all season. 2 games. 9 snaps. That's been the problem with him ever since we had him. If he gets anywhere near 20 snaps, whether it's in 1 game or 10, he's injured the rest of the year.
This is contract year?
It was his contract year last year. We extended him a year when he didn't play but 8 games last year, maybe 9.
Oh, he is.
All right. The Red Wings win. Patrick Kane showed up.
He is a free agent after this year.
AG, Will Harris, Burrito Jones don't get it.
So yeah, this is his contract year. So he is a free agent after this year.
Yep. Bye. See you later. You can't stay on the field. Availability is the best ability.
Exactly.
All I know is they're the number 1 pass rushing defense right now. They blitz more than every other team. They're not getting as many sacks, but they blitz and they put a ton of pressure on quarterbacks, which is why they have been opportunistic in the secondary without having great coverage. They're forcing quarterbacks in the number 12 range. 12th overall.
Mm-hmm. But the problem with them is,
what is that? You like cut out there, Dan?
Yeah, you cut out.
Oh, sorry. I said the problem with that though is while the defense is getting those turnovers, the offense is turning it over just as much, if not more. They're -6 on the season on total turnover differential.
I think we have $2.8 million left in cap space. which is next to nothing. So if Tyler Tart could be signed, I would not mind it at all.
It wasn't Tart. It was Sebastian Day. Sebastian Joseph
Sebastian
Day.
Day.
They cut their freaking captain, which is weird as hell.
Yeah, because he's been an issue. Am I surprised with Swift staying healthy this long? He's playing for the team he wanted to play for. He's from the Philly area. When you
And he
play
doesn't
for
get
the team you want,
utilized.
you don't. And he isn't utilized as great as he is. He's only got 3 touchdowns.
Who are they splitting with then?
Gainwell and
Gainwell, Boston Scott, and Jalen Hurts is the guy that rushes inside there.
Yep.
With his
But we have
freaking
tons of
tape
cap
work
next
rate.
year. Like, everybody says we got tons of cap. It sounds like we have tons of cap. Take the $18 million off for signing draft picks. It's not as much as you think it is. That comes off the top. That isn't what it is after you sign your draftees. It's what it is total. So $74 million. Take off the 18. We're in the 50s. It's average. It's average cap space, but it's more than we've had any other year for actual free cap space for signing. But if you re-sign Goff and extend him out and do that, there goes 35 to 42 million.
Yep.
As it stands right now, if by God you guys win the Super Bowl, you know what that number is going to be?
It's going to be 50.
Yeah. And fuck that.
No. And I still say Mosley gone, Deuce would be gone. Yeah, we'd have to re-sign players. But in all actuality, the way Iffy is playing, and Kirby is still a serviceable safety. He's just not great. But you get better play with somebody next to him so that he doesn't have to do the in-the-box stuff and stay there in single high safety where he flourished.
Didn't you guys draft a safety out of Alabama that loves to play in the box and hit people?
Yes. Yes. And we got Branch. I said that. I know. I hadn't even got to that part.
My mind was already there, man. I love Brian Branch.
Yeah, I know. But will we re-sign Jonah Jackson? I don't think we will unless it's going to be an under $10 million deal. It's got to be like 8 to 9.5 because he hasn't proven this year he's been off injured and availability is the best ability. And our O-line play did suffer without him. Right now, the Lions are a top 5 offense. Offensively, Minnesota's 9th, which means they're not as bad as everybody thinks. They're just god awful at rushing the ball.
Yep.
Yes. Well, except
And
last
Austin-
week. Except last week. Ty Chandler
Austin,
didn't have
I
100
agree.
yards last week.
Yep. 45 mil over for the cap for the Chargers because they've let a lot of people go they shouldn't have recently over the past couple of years.
I think the Eric Kendricks move is going to bite him in the butt.
You're going to see the Saints have to kick the can down the road to create cap space to sign rookies again, which means they're not doing a lot of re-signing for anybody on their roster.
Did you hear the theory about why they're not playing Jameis Winston right now?
No.
Because the owner doesn't want to feel like an idiot for freaking spending $150 million on Derek Carr over 4 years when he could have got the same exact play, if not better, out of Winston.
Wow.
Jonas played the last 2 games, Chad.
He's injured.
But yeah, it is not injured right now. The only one that's injured on the O-line is the one on the IR, which is Baitai.
Which he's gone after this year no matter what.
Yeah, because next year they can cut him with no draft cap.
Graham Glasgow is a free agent after the year, too. No way in hell do I want to pay a quarterback $50 million.
I'm right there with you.
Yep.
I don't even care if we win the Super Bowl. I don't want to re-sign Goff for that kind of money.
The
And
only
the
quarterback in the entire league. Sorry, I didn't mean.
The only fact that I already know, I did a mumble thing. I did by time.
So I'm sorry to say this, Leonard, but last time we saw a big contract was Daniel Jones. And ever since then, he's been a drop off.
He hurt his neck, Then he tore his ACL, so he can't even really base shit on that yet. But after that, you got to think Jalen Hurts signed a $40+ million contract. Joe Burrow's got like a $45 million contract. Justin Herbert was like a 45. Yeah, then Justin Herbert with an even bigger contract, and they were all after Jones. That's kind of Daniel Jones is going to be the floor right now of where all these big name quarterbacks are going to be at.
And that's why I said, if you look at the percentage, Daniel Jones' contract isn't as bad as everybody made it out to be if he performed even close to the level he played last year. But at that same time, this will be Goff's third contract, absolutely.
So he's going to want that bag.
He wants that bag.
Mm-hmm.
But the percentage that works out for salary cap with a roster, it's 18.9%, which is basically 19%. That's 41.2 million a year. So that's the ceiling that Brad Holmes is trying to shoot for, is right around there. The fact that I heard Goff's agent and Brad Holmes are far apart on the money, even while he was struggling. You know what that means?
50.
Bye. See you later.
That means he wants 50.
He wants 45 plus. Yeah.
Could you imagine when Mahomes freaking re-signs his contract?
When he restructures his contract, because he already said he wants to restructure it.
Oh, yeah, he wants that back.
No. He wants to give money back so they can afford to have a team. He's already said this.
Shit.
When they came out with that contract, he was like, whoa, what the heck? I'm signing this, but what are you gonna do with this money when you don't even have a receivers around me to help me?
What would happen if we didn't extend Goff? That means that we could say, fuck you, you're on the roster next year anyways. He's making almost 35 million after his signing bonus. It's a 31.5 against the cap hit. Or we could trade him either prior to the draft or after.
Give him and a third to the Raiders for Crosby.
That I would love to swap third Jared Goff for Max Crosby. 100%. I would love that.
I'd like to know what other guy on the Raiders is smoking if he makes that trade.
We've known Mark Davis to make stupid trades before. Hey, I'm not joking.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't give up Crosby without draft capital, like good draft capital, not a swap of picks.
Good has Devontae Adams been because they traded away the guy he wanted to play with?
Mm-hmm.
He's been a little better now that they got Aiden O'Connell playing quarterback. Not great, but been playing better.
Are they making the playoffs?
They still have a chance to win the division.
Yeah, with the way the Chiefs wide receivers drop passes, it could happen.
Yeah.
If the Chiefs lose out and the Raiders win out, the Raiders win that division to go to the playoffs.
Isn't that crazy? That we're even having this discussion.
Yeah.
I swear that the Chiefs wide receivers couldn't catch a cold in Wuhan, China.
Rashee Rice is actually pretty nice, though.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't ignored your comments. I've been basically saying all season, Chad. I'm one of the ones that said we're trading Goff this next year. I've already said it. It's Hendon Hooker is the future. I've said this all season long.
We drafted him for a reason.
You don't draft a guy in the first 3 rounds for them not to end up a starter.
Was Howell a first round pick?
No.
That just proves our point. Howell ended up starting.
Howell was a 3rd round pick.
And he was a 3rd round pick.
Matt Corral never got good after his knee got injured in college. He never came back the same. And that's why all these guys that are considered day 1 and day 2 picks are dropping out of bowl games like flies. They don't want to risk their NFL future for a bowl game. You can't blame them. Why risk the money you'll get in the NFL? Because not every player gets those great NIL deals like everybody thinks. The only way every player in college would get an NIL deal is that the guys at the top didn't feel like 5,000 per player was too little money from EA Sports.
100%,
why-
Chad. I agree. He would win the Heisman if he didn't get hurt. Hooker.
I know it's just he's saying stuff I've said all season.
Yeah, no,
That's
I
why
know.
addressed it. I've said this for God ever since we drafted him.
It's undone. I
Aneurysm
don't
end up in a
agree.
loony bin.
Yeah, we do know who it is.
Yeah.
That guy's gonna say, "I don't believe we did it," even though the news breaks across every network.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't wait for that day.
I'm not saying he loves that guy, but I think there's a picture of him on the ceiling above his bed so he can make love to his wife.
Oh, easily.
He bought a body pillow, specially made with Goff's body on there.
He bought the Malibu Ken life-size Barbie because it looked like Goff.
Making Leonard die.
And then he was all pissed off because it's not correct.
Oh, man. Wow. The time has flown.
Nicholas has died.
It blew my mind when we drafted Hooker.
I'm the
Jamie, explain Hooker to him. Why they drafted him. His fascination with him is.
okay. When he was scouting the SEC, he was also getting his undergraduate studies done at University of North Carolina, Greensboro. His apartment was across the street from the middle school where a certain family had a son playing as a quarterback. He was in the 8th grade then. And Brad would sit there at the practices and on Friday nights and talk with that gentleman. And he would say, "That's my boy." And you'd watch him play. That was Hendon Hooker. He's been scouting Hendon Hooker since he was 15 years old. How old is Hendon Hooker? 25. How long has he been scouting him? 10 years.
Yep.
That is why in Inside the Den 3, boy, it's real nice to call this Greensboro number. He was talking about that particular number, not just a number in Greensboro, North Carolina. Because he spent dinners and family vacations there in Greensboro with the Hooker family. That, and plus he knew that the jersey sales would go up on 6 Mile for all the call girls.
You there?
You can only see half the photo on the ceiling above his bed because the other half is covered in crusty paint.
God dang.
God damn. So nepotism is what I'm not saying it's nepotism. I'm saying he's been scouting him for 10 years and he's seen the development. He saw how bad it was for Hooker at Virginia Tech. Isn't that where he went? Was Virginia Tech?
Yeah.
The Hokies were god awful at the O line, had nobody at wide receiver, and nobody could get open. Cheapest hooker in downtown Detroit is on 6 Mile. You got it. Yes.
Hooker's something special.
All I know is that in his year and a half of starting at Tennessee, he threw, 55 touchdowns.
Yep.
He only threw 4 interceptions, and he rushed for a total of 20 more.
Yep.
James Mitchell and Hendon Hooker played together at VT2. That is true.
Yep.
Well, it's that time of the night. Oh, do you got a parting shot, Will?
I thought we were doing predictions.
Well, what do you think?
I see 31-20 Lions.
Hey, Keegan?
I think I said Wednesday, if I remember correctly. I said 28-14.
I think you did say that, yep.
And I said 31-24. Leonard, what's your prediction?
What's my what?
What's your score prediction for Sunday?
I don't know. Let me think. Skip me. Go to somebody else. I think for a minute.
Oh, well,
You already.
Shit. Let's
Yeah.
go. 27-21. Actually, 27-20. Well, 27-20.
I went with a touchdown spread too. I said 31-24. Austin Hacker says, "All right, fellas, good night and go Lions. 27-21. Lions win the NFC North champs on Sunday." That is what I'm saying. You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see something like this again.
Goff looking deep, wants it all. Jamison Williams looking for the ball. Got it! Touchdown!
Yeah,
That's
that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Matters how 7-10 says Lions by a million.
I really like the Buccaneers jerseys.
Just anything to JMO would be awesome.
That being said, time to give a shout out to my sponsor. That's his number, 989-443-9240. Tell him Smoking Jeremy B sent you. He will hook you up with a decent deal. Most vehicles start around $200 for tint. I don't know what the discount is, but ask him. Can't hurt. Stuff he does looks like this Maserati right here, and this 300 C-Class. And then there is my other sponsor that we all love to do. And on the count of three, I want everybody to tell everybody what FTP stands for, and it's not the florist. 1, 2, 3.
Fuck
Fuck
the
the
Packers.
Hey, JB, some college news just popped up here.
Really?
Yeah. Malik Murphy committed to Duke today.
Who did?
Malik Murphy, 5-star backup from Texas.
Yep.
To
Committed
Duke.
to Duke?
He went to
Yep.
Duke?
He picked them over Baylor, South Carolina, and Oregon State.
Okay, so Michigan wasn't in the conversation. All right.
Right. You know, and what's his name from, was it Miami? Went to Wisconsin?
Mhm.
Or Minnesota?
No.
No, Wisconsin, right?
Van Dyke.
Yep.
Yeah, Tyler Van Dyke went there.
McCallum.
That Dylan Raiola kid.
I heard he was born Tyler Van Lesbian, but they made him change his name.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
So Kyle McCord committed to Syracuse.
Yep. Guy's a bum.
And that's right, everybody. As you can see, there's the Lion Santa right there behind Leonard. I want to wish each and every one of you a very Merry Christmas. Our post-game show will be on Christmas night. We will be airing live. It'll be Dan and I talking about the post-game show, going over our 5 hot players. Hey, look, Little Smoking JB's on the show, too. Thank you, Leonard.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. But it has been my pleasure to be doing this the past 2 years with you guys. Started January 29th of last year. Not 2023, 2022. And have been through this for over 400 shows with my buddies, Will, the Padawan Vogel, Dan, the asshole Leonard, and the little teapot Keegan.
That's Keegan's great Jordan quote.
I haven't been able to get the donation thing up yet because I have to have enough subscribers from YouTube to do the donation page.
Keegan.
But if you do want to donate towards my fund, I will put my Cash App tag in.
Matter of fact, I just saw we are at 354 subscribers. Come on, guys, let's hit that subscribe button.
Yes, and you know what else?
That is my Cash App. If you want to donate directly to me, I will put it directly towards any streaming costs, any production upgrades that I can do. I do have a green screen. I just don't have the space to put it up or figured out how to do a little studio thing to do it. So that way I can do cool shit like what Leonard's doing.
I thought about just painting my wall green instead, but I was like, my wife probably wouldn't like that.
You probably would not. Now, if you did it out there in your man cave, she wouldn't give two shits.
Yeah. It's cold out.
And also,
It
guys,
is cold out.
remember,
Yep.
if Jeremy hits 400, Leonard will do a
We
mini
are going
helmet
to do,
raffle.
we're going to do a custom Lions helmet.
Mhm.
We're going to do a giveaway for all the subscribers. So promote us, like us, share it out there with all the other fans you know. Get them on there. As soon as we get to 400, we'll do a drawing, and we'll announce it right here live. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. We appreciate all of you. Thank you, isn't done. And we'll see you Monday. Merry Christmas, everybody.